I didn't see myself na magiging voice coach or a voice teacher. There was an underlying feeling that I'm not good enough. Marunong lang pala ako, hindi ako magaling.
Sometimes when people get hurt, they hide or like
Yeah.
mask themselves so that
Yeah.
they wouldn't get hurt.
I was lost basically because all my life I've been feeling not good enough. It was a tough scene. Kailangan may network ka, kailangan may connection ka. I was in a season of who am I really? Like, is this really for me? Sino ba talaga si Hannah De La Rosa?
Welcome back to Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. Thank you guys so much for choosing to be here and listen to this podcast episode. I'm super excited for this one kasi the guest that we have right now is a person that I just naturally vibe with. And this is a person that I really admire in terms of her faith, her journey, her transformation. And I'm just really amazed of how how this person is continuously touching and transforming lives through singing. Quick backstory lang. Itong guest natin ngayon, na-meet ko siya because last year I intended to have or to find a vocal coach. I really want to learn singing. Guys, wag niyo akong pakantahin dito. Pero gusto ko talagang matuto. But so, somehow we got connected. And from the moment that I met this person, I just knew that her mission and her heart is much bigger than what the world was seeing a year ago. Like, I knew na sobrang dami niya pang matutulungan na tao. And few months later, nakita ko na lang na ang laki na ng mga classes niya. So, I'm just really, really happy to have here on the show, Coach Hannah.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. Again, thank
you
you.
for having me. I'm so excited and I'm nervous.
Yeah. I mean, hindi siya kinakabahan ever. Hindi namin napag-usapan yun backstage. But again, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I guess this is a new setup. Kasi pag nagkikita tayo, it's always almost laging sa classes mo.
Right, yeah.
Before maraming planning, but ngayon sa classes mo na.
Yeah.
And I'm just really excited now to see the versions or like the stories na hindi mo masyadong nakikwento sa iyong mga TikToks at sa iyong mga classes. So again, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
You're welcome.
So,
I'm excited to be here.
All right. So maybe I wanna learn more, especially for the people that clicked on this episode but they are not really sure ano bang ginagawa ni Coach Hannah. Bakit siya coach? No? Basketball coach ba yan? Can you share a little bit about your story of how you became a vocal coach and what you're doing now?
Okay, that's a long story. Do we have the time?
We have all the time.
Okay, so basically, first of all, I didn't see myself na magiging voice coach or a voice teacher ever. I was a little girl who really loved singing, really loves to sing. And so, high school, sumali ako ng high school glee club namin. And then, nung time na yun, yun yung panahon ng Jonas Brothers, Taylor Swift, Demi Lovato, Camp Rock. And so, I really got attracted to that. And I said to myself, that's who I want to be. Gusto ko maging Taylor Swift. I wanted to write songs. I wanted to inspire people through music, to creating music.
So it was to become a songwriter before?
Yes.
Okay.
A songwriter, an artist. And then, eventually, transitioning to college, I was looking for yung course na kukunin ko. And then, gusto ko mag-music, of course. But then, nung time na yun, when I learned that conservatory of music would take you like 6 to 7 years before graduating, sabi ko, parang tagal naman masyado. So, parang na-overwhelm ako at that idea. But then, I learned about music production in Benilde, which is only 3 years. And then, mas dun ako attracted, mas nag-lean in more because yun yung may recording, tas feel ko sobrang cool nun. Learning about all that stuff. At the same time, learning theory and about performance. So, nung time na yun, dahil di naman kaya ng parents ko, I learned na merong scholarship sa Benilde. And so I
Okay.
applied for that.
Okay.
Eventually, natanggap ako dun sa scholarship. So I had to audition for Coro San Benildo, the resident
Mhm.
choir of Benilde. So basically, sali ako ng choir. I attend training and do performances with them. Tapos, meron akong 50% scholarship.
Okay.
Tapos, nung time na yun, nung pagkapasok ko, pinatawag, nung natanggap na ako and everything, nag-audition ako. I had to audition for the program, Music Prod, and then I had to audition for the choir.
Yeah.
Tapos, pinatawag ako sa scholarship office. Tapos, parang sinabi na, congratulations, natanggap po yung anak nyo. Tas sabi do'n, hindi ko makalimutan, sabi, "Buti nga po nakapasa pa yung anak niyo."
Hmm.
Um, Kasi ang passing grade po natin, kasi basically gine-grade din yung audition. Passing grade po natin ay 70. 70 po yung anak niyo. So
Hmm.
parang, okey.
Mhm.
So I was given 50% scholarship. Meanwhile, yung other batchmates ko 100% sila.
Hmm.
So nung time na yon, I had a feeling na parang sobrang grateful kasi kahit papaano may scholarship at malaking tulong yun sa magulang ko.
Yeah.
But then I felt that parang um sige, pag-iigihan ko na lang, ganyan. Pero there was
Okay.
a underlying feeling that I'm not good enough. Parang shucks, hindi ako nag-100.
Yeah.
All this time nung high school, feeling ko
Even though
magaling
nakapasa
din.
ka,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
there's
Yeah.
this feeling na
Yeah. Because, I don't know, nung high school, I was such a dreamer. So, it's like, ako yung nagsulat ng graduation song namin. Tapos, alam mo yun, yun yung
achiever din, gano'n.
achiever ako. So, parang, knowing na pagdating dun sa audition for that choir and I got 50% scholarship, parang, ay, shucks, hindi ako nag-100.
Hmm.
Ganon. So, may ganong feeling. But then, I was grateful kasi
Yeah.
malaking tulong na yun. So, sabi ko, sige, pag-iigihan ko na lang kasi pwede naman daw tumaas. Pag nag-practice pa, pag ganyan. So, I did everything I could. Eventually, I got the 100%
Yeah.
scholarship. I started really hindi ako nag-absent sa rehearsals, ganyan. Tapos I did everything I could. Yung conductor namin nun
Yeah.
nag-o-offer siya ng parang extra lessons. Pag maaga ka tapos na yung class mo, punta ka dito,
Yeah.
i-one-on-one kita,
Alright.
i-vocalize kita.
Minaximize
So,
mo talaga.
minaximize ko talaga yun to really improve on my skill. And because at the same time, yun yung sa choir, at the same time, I was studying music production.
Okay.
And then, yung alongside that is also, yung journey ko doon was, so, kunyari, first day of school, lahat kami musicians. And then, andun yung, so first day of school, yung, when you're in a room full of musicians, you have to like introduce yourself and then showcase your talent. So you have to sing or play your guitar, play piano, whatever. So we all had to do that. Tapos parang dun ko na-realize na, ay shucks, marunong lang pala ako, hindi ako magaling. So, because I was having those kinds of insecurities and feelings, I wanted to, of course, na galingan pa, i-push yung sarili ko. So, and that was through my studies, na meron kaming kailangan na i-maintain na grade. At the same time, mag-train sa choir. Which is very sobrang intense ng training namin. Like, we had to train 3 times a week for 3 hours. Tapos, late matatapos yung rehearsals. Like, 9 o'clock makaka-uwi ako, 10, 11. Tapos, meron akong 8 a.m. class the next day. Tapos, may mga homework pa and everything. So, grabe yung college life ko talaga.
Okay.
It was, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go,
Lagari
let's go.
talaga.
Lagari
Okay.
talaga. And especially when there's international competitions. So eventually, nakapasa ako sa competing team namin. So within that choir, I had to audition again.
Yeah.
Because kailangan pang salain kung sino yung ipapadala sa ibang bansa para
Okay.
mag-compete.
Yeah.
So eventually, after my 1 year na lagare, nakapasa ako ng competing team and then I was able to travel to Korea,
Wow.
Italy, and then London. So doon umikot yung college life
Yeah.
ko sa pagkanta sa koro and
Eh,
pag-aaral.
Super curious ako. Is Nung mga times na parang napapadala ka na, did you feel na, okay, I'm good enough?
Oh, yeah.
Oo.
Oh, yeah. Kasi nung time na yun parang, uy, kasama ko na yung mga kaibigan ko
Oo.
na
Na
kasi
100%.
oo.
Okay.
Oo, na
Okay.
parang, uy, tapos parang nagta-travel kami together, masaya 'to.
Mm.
And it's something that I've also envisioned when I auditioned
Mhm.
na sabi ko, etong nakita ko kasi yung choir na 'to nagko-compete sila, ganyan, ganyan. Sabi ko, "Shucks, gusto ko 'yan, gusto ko rin mag-travel."
Mm.
Because before that, I never had a chance to travel.
Mm.
Because we're a family of 7, 5 kami magkakapatid. So, we didn't have that luxury to like travel abroad or whatever. So, yung unang labas ko ng bansa was second year college.
Okay. Yeah.
So, it was a parang a luxury for me. Na
Yeah.
parang a luxury of experience. Na parang,
Mm.
wow!
Yeah.
Nasa ibang bansa
Oo.
ako. Ganun.
Ang ganda lang din makarinig ng gantong story kasi
Mm.
like people, okay, I wanna know your thoughts on this. Parang, sinasabi nila if you pursue your passion, like there's no money in it. Or
Mm.
parang there's, maybe here in the Philippines as well, like super hard, ng competition. Like kailangan may network ka, may backer
Right.
ka.
Yeah.
Did you feel that way as well? And you mentioned na ginapang mo talaga siya.
Mm.
Can you say that up until now, that's the status of, the music
No.
industry? Talaga?
I guess the music industry here in the Philippines, mahirap talaga siya. Mahirap siyang pasukan and it's a jungle inside. um, and siguro, gusto ko lang balikan yung before ko ikwento yung path ng choir life ko and where it led me. Gusto ko lang balikan yung songwriter path ko.
Mm.
Na, kasi yun naman talaga yung gusto ko gawin, diba? And I've tried that. And I'm currently doing that now. And I guess nung time na yun, I just had a different vision of what it should look like. So nung time na yun, there's this camp, Elements National Songwriting Camp, and it was like the camp rock of my dreams.
Okay.
Parang national camp siya na open to all songwriters sa buong bansa. Tapos 60 lang yung makukuha. Tapos pag nakuha ka doon, 1 week kayo sa camp, kasama sila Ryan Kebia. Like, people in the industry, you're gonna be mentored by people in the industry. So I was like, okay lang, makapasok ako dyan. That's my camp rock. And then, I auditioned for that. Tapos, nakapasa ako first screening.
Mhm.
And then, second screening, I had to go physically and sing my song live
Yeah.
in front of people in the industry.
Yeah.
And then, after nun, so kanta ako, ganyan-ganyan. After nun, I didn't hear from them.
Mm.
So, hindi ako nakapasa. So, sobrang heartbroken ako nun.
Okay.
And like, after that, I focused on singing in the choir. And then, during my college life, I would get invited to sing backup vocal gigs, ganyan. And after college, I tried to like find myself in that solo platform as a solo artist. But again, yun nga, it was a tough scene. It's kailangan may network ka, kailangan may connection ka, kailangan mga ganong bagay. Pero tapos parang yung buong process na yun, napagod ako.
Okay. Yeah.
Pagod ako and parang I was lost basically. Na parang saan ba talaga ako? Ano ba talagang gusto ko gawin? Gusto ko pa talaga maging songwriter? Gusto ko bang maging mag-choir? Tapos parang syempre nung time na yun, hindi naman talaga wala kang makikita sa sa mga gigs. Exposure lang. Yun lang yun unless
Ikaw
it's
lang yung may hawak ng mic na sa nakatayo ka doon.
yeah, exposure lang talaga. And hindi ko naman sa dinidiscard lahat ng experiences ng mga sumikat na of course, everyone starts from there na yung walang manonood sa'yo, ganyan-ganyan. But then, I was in a season of who am I really? Like, is this really for me? Yun. And then eventually, I started teaching
Okay.
because kailangan kong kumita ng pera.
Okay.
Siyempre, hindi naman ako, alam mo yun, dahil wala kang kinakita sa mga gigs or what.
Oo.
As in like for fun lang siya and exposure. I needed to, make money for myself. So I
Yeah.
started teaching.
Mhm.
My first job was an admin person in a institution, in a school, nung yung culture and arts office nila.
Okay.
So it was my day job. I was an admin in that office. And then in the evening, I was teaching the university choir.
Yeah.
So yun yung first job ko ever.
Okay.
Tapos, basta nagkaroon ng trial
Mm.
during that time. Na parang it wasn't, basically I didn't get paid well also.
Okay.
So I had to resign. Although I enjoyed the time that I was teaching, but then because I didn't get paid well,
Mm.
tas andun ako sa school for like 6 a.m. until like
Yeah.
9 p.m.
Like
in the
hindi na siya
evening, 10
parang
p.m.
and ganun ka-fulfilling. Like, kasi I
Yeah,
do
yeah.
believe na even if you're like a creative or like you're passionate about, like, pag pinursu mo yung passion mo, you don't aspire to like really earn big because you know that the
Yeah.
industry is kind of like very competitive.
Right.
But there's like an enough amount na parang, oh yeah, kaya ko tiisin to with the amount of new work that I'm
Yeah.
putting in. So
Yeah.
you became, at one point, you tried to become a songwriter, an artist,
Yeah.
and then you started teaching.
Yeah.
And then I know that there's like, did you already find that love for teaching or did you kind of like pause it? Like, nung time na ba yun na nagtuturo ka, what was the next thing? Like, did you know na parang, okay, this is like, maybe not in this space, but I really want to teach?
Right. It was a push and pull situation.
Yeah, love for
It's
teaching.
a love-hate
Love-hate
relationship with teaching, because like I was teaching, but then I know I want to be a songwriter, but then I was also liking teaching at the season. So parang medyo magulo siya. Kasi parang at that time, yun yung doon ako nag-earn din ng money. Doon may cash flow basically. So after I resigned from that first job, I applied as a full-time music teacher at a
Okay.
private school.
Mm.
And at the same time, trying to do gigs, ganyan.
Anong mga gigs yan usually?
Baka vocal gigs. Parang nung time na yun, wala pa akong courage mag-solo. Kasi nga, nung na-reject ako nung college sa Elements,
Yeah.
parang I didn't realize also that I stopped writing songs. Kasi
It's-
parang na-insecure ako, ganyan.
It's so weird, no? Na when people, I think sometimes when people get hurt, they kind of like hide or like mask themselves so that they wouldn't get hurt. But subconsciously, it's also stopping them from.
Yeah. I feel
know-
like that's what happened really. Na parang minask ko siya. Na parang, ay, hindi pa ako good enough na songwriter. Sige, pag-iigihan ko lang sa choir, kakanta na lang ako. Ganyan. To mask that pain. And then, pagdating ng after college, sa ako na rin na-realize na, ay, hindi na ako nagsusulat ng kanta. Parang, what happened? What happened, Hannah? So parang, it was a season of, yun nga, finding myself.
Yeah.
Nung na-realize ko yun, parang, nung tuturo ako, parang, ay, oo nga, gusto ko maging songwriter. So, it was at that time now that I was in my full-time job as a music teacher. 1 year ako doon, I was enjoying it. But then, being a full-time music teacher in a formal classroom setup is a totally different world than what I used to do, or like what I used to know in teaching. Na una kong teaching job was a choir conductor, admin and choir conductor. So very informal, na friends ako sa mga students ko. And then now I'm in a formal classroom setup teaching kinder to grade 3 kids.
Yeah.
And they're all noisy at the same time. And I don't know how to tame them. I don't have the skills. Although na-enjoy ko naman at cute-cute naman sila. But then parang deep inside me, parang, eto na ba yun?
Yeah.
Parang hindi pa, feeling ko there was more to where God wanted me to be and who God wants me to be.
Yeah.
So I keep praying and discerning na parang, Lord, ano ba talaga? Ano ba talaga? Ano ba nalang gusto mo for me? Sino ba talaga ako?
Yeah.
And so eventually, my discernment led me to a decision to quit that
Mm.
full-time job.
Okay.
Na parang, sige, all in tayo. Try natin to. All in tayo. Um, and even at that season, I was also part of this choir, another choir. So I joined another choir kasi syempre, naghahanap din ako ng outlet ko. So I joined this other choir na parang masaya, naging outlet ko yun, ganyan. But then eventually, parang nahirapan din ako, nagkaroon din ako ng identity crisis. Kasi at that point in my life, 10 years na akong kumakanta sa choir. From Glee Club, nung high school ako,
Uh-huh.
to college, and then to after college that I joined another choir. 10 years na akong nakasarado sa choir. So parang nagkaroon ako ng I had to question myself na parang, 10 years na akong kumakanta sa choir, sino ba talaga si Hannah De La Rosa outside of this choir, outside of singing in a group? So that is what pushed me to quit that choir and quit my job. Na sabi ko, sige, all in. Tatry ko tong songwriter, artist dream na to.
Yeah.
Ganyan. And then, when I decided to do that, 3 weeks before the end of the school year,
Mhm.
of me in that school, nag-pandemic, nag-lockdown.
Mm.
So everything stopped.
Yeah.
And so pandemic.
Mm.
Crazy times. Pandemic. So parang nung time na yun, nagalit ako kay Lord. Kasi parang tagal kong pinag-pray, ang dami
Yeah.
kong pinagdaanan na emotional roller coaster leading towards that decision na I'm gonna go all in with this artist thing. And then suddenly, ititigil mo yung buong mundo.
Yeah.
Akala ko ba mag-events tayo?
Kailan ka nag-all in, dun pa talagang
So parang, what's happening? Yeah. And then, at that time din kasi, before I resigned, or before mag-pandemic, nag-sign din ako sa isang record label. There was an offer.
Okay.
So, which also led me to the decision na, all in na to. Kasi parang,
Meron na.
si Lord, mayroon na siyang
Support.
nilalagay na opportunities for me to go in this path.
Yeah.
So, may record label, magre-resign na ako, nag-quit ako dun sa choir life ko. Ito na, ganyan. Tapos, yeah, pandemic.
Yeah.
Then the world stopped.
Yeah.
And then, ngayon, nung pandemic, I was, medyo, nagulo ulit yung mundo ko. So parang, all in eh, wala akong pera din.
Yeah.
So parang, anong gagawin natin? And it was in this season that I really had a deeper relationship with God. Because I realized that, so lahat tayo isolated. Nung time na yun, wala tayong ginagawa lahat. At nakakabaliw siya.
Mhm.
And I realized that ever since high school, umiikot yung mundo ko sa performing, sa singing, and then rehearsal, school, working, rehearsals. It was nonstop. Tas dun lang siya natigil. And I didn't realize that I attached my self-worth into my productivity. And it was becoming like a poison inside of me na feeling ko nung time na yun, wala akong kwentang tao kasi wala akong ginagawa. Kasi hindi ako nagpe-perform, hindi ako nagtatrabaho. And at that time, I had this personal conversation with God. Kasi nung time na din na yun, I was trying to reach out to this record label who signed me. And I was like, kasi nung time din na yun, parang medyo lumuluwag na, mga after
Yeah.
3 months, or 5 months, 6 months. So I tried to reach out to them na, hey, maybe we can record my song, kasi yun yung naging usapan namin na they would help me with recording kasi wala naman akong recording equipments or whatever. Tapos parang scene zone sila. parang walang nangyari, basically. Tapos, it was at this time that I found myself praying and kneeling to God. And I felt the Lord ask me, if ako lang ang meron ka, okay lang ba sa'yo? Hindi ako nakasagot. Because I was so used to having everything. Having the opportunity to sing, having the opportunity to work, having to, having my schedule so full. But then God is asking me, if I'm the only one you have, would that be okay with you? It took a while for me to process that. But then I really fell in love with God. Kasi at that point, lahat ng meron ako, siya naman lahat nagbigay nun. And it was also that time nung nangyari lahat yung adulting, nag-start ako with adulting. That's when I really built a personal relationship with God. I started attending the feast, and God met me in my every single moment, every single time I cried, every single time that I was happy. He was there. He was the reason for it all. And so, when He removed everything, He made me realize that the most important thing, the only most important thing is actually just Him. Kung siya nagbigay lahat ng yun, then He's the most important thing.
Yeah.
And so I started healing because I realized, pinarealize sa akin ni Lord na kahit wala tong lahat ng to, maganda ka, mahal kita, anak kita. You don't have to prove anything. Because I realized everything that I've been doing is just coming from a place of, I have to prove something.
Yeah.
Because all my life I've been feeling not good enough. So I have to prove something. I have to fill my schedule. I have to sing. But it wasn't what God wants for me.
Yeah.
He wants me to realize that even without all these things, I'm loved. And I'm beautiful. And so I started accepting that and healing from that. And when I started creating from that place,
Yeah.
from that place of wholeness, of acceptance of my identity in Christ, that's when He started turning all of the ashes into beauty. That's when my songwriting dream, or like my love for songwriting, found its home in our church, in the feast. Right now, that whole period of time in pandemic, I started writing from a place of, yun nga, from that wholeness. Hindi na, before kasi takot ako magsulat ng kanta na parang feeling ko dapat maging hit song agad or dapat maging perfect siya agad.
Yeah.
But then I started writing just for the sake of writing, and because it's a gift given to me by God. And just because I enjoy doing it. And so I started submitting my songs for our feast, for our church. And then napili siya, tapos ni-record siya. Tapos eventually in our conferences and in our Sunday, in every Sunday that we're in church, my songs now are being sung.
Wow.
And the most beautiful thing is they're not about me, and they're not singing it to me.
Yeah.
They're singing it to God. So parang yun pa lang, dream come true na sa akin. Na parang pinalitan lang ni Lord yung version ko of my dream, of a better version. Na because I realized that if I went to that route of, hindi, ako, like all my ways, then parang inako ko lahat ng glory. But the glory is never meant to be ours. It has always been God.
Yeah.
So He just showed me like a better version of that dream, which I was really okay with.
Yeah.